Hi everyone, Austin here with Sun Fun Kits. Today we'd like to discuss a new kit option that we're going to have. This is going to be called the V3.5 Basic Kit. And it's going to be our most affordable kit ever, considering all the stuff that's going to be included. So you are all familiar with the 3.5 case. This is the one that supports cell separators, so you can install your cells and have separation. With a V3.5, you'll have the option of 1.5 millimeter spacers or um, the 1 millimeter spacers. By far, this is what most people choose. It's a little easier to install, but you can choose either one. The price is the same, or you can choose both if you want to add both. Um, the normal case, like I say, most people are familiar with your choice of 3D printed bracket so that it can mount whichever BMS that you'd want to have. All the screws needed to mount will be included. And then we also have the lid, of course. Now, in order to keep the price a little more aggressive, we'll let you select which lid you prefer. But based on availability, we may substitute from yellow to black, depending on availability. Now, let's talk about some of the things that we're going to be including moving forward to make this a little easier for builds. So, one of the things that ends up being a surprise cost when building kits is your wiring and your lugs. This is something that it's not easily sourced. 6-gauge silicone flexible wire is not cheap, and almost everywhere you might be able to get a black, you might be able to get red, but you're not going to get some purple/blue wire. So why is this important? Well, pretty much all battery systems have sort of adopted this color where black is your final negative, red is your final positive, and the blue is the connection between your negative cell port and the BMS. So this is by far what's most common use, and we're now including 6 feet of this. 2 foot of each color, super flexible silicone wire. It's what we use in our pre-made batteries and as well as kits that we come assembled. So now you'll be easily be able to set up your wiring for whatever BMS that you have. We'll also include 2 different sizes of heat shrink that should work with most BMSs. Then the other thing we're going to start doing is we're including some lugs. You have 4 8mm lugs. I'm sorry. Yes, 8mm, 4 8mm lugs, up to 4 6mm lugs, and 4 5mm lugs. Now, depending on which BMS you have, this will change, but you will pretty much be getting all the lugs you need to sort of complete your wiring schematic. And that's going to make your installs a lot easier and cheaper. You won't have to go and buy a big assortment, which is pretty much the case if you try to source these items individually. You almost always end up having to buy a huge assortment, which means you have a lot left over. Now let's talk about the BMS plates. So traditionally, we have used our 3D printed plates. These have worked fairly well for us, and as time has gone by, we have had made improvements. And we have various different BMS mounting options. This is the same as V3. So you have about 6 or 7 popular BMSs that you can make, and these all work with version 3.5. So this is what's going to be included, and you can select the BMS that you'd want, and this is going to help you set up your kit, and it'll cut down a lot on trying to figure out and measure it. It'll just sort of pop right in. But we now are also going to offer an upgraded option. So in version 3.5, the new basic kit, you will actually be able to purchase a fiberglass version of the mounting plate. So the positions of the holes match our 3D printed plate, but this is a little more rugged and a little more rigid in that it has, if you're going to be running high amps, this will survive the heat a little better. So we don't have as many mounting options on this as we do the standard 3D printed plates. However, more are coming, and we're probably eventually going to support pretty much every single BMS that we supported with our 3D printed plates through this. Now, the one unique thing is all these plates are mounted to the same exact fiberglass plate. So the plate is the same. The only thing that's different is the brackets that mount, they change. So if you decide to order this and then later decide to change the BMS, you can just buy the brackets from us, which are only going to be between $5 to $10 at most, and then simply bolt on your new BMS. So yeah, that's a little bit about the new V3.5 basic. No active balancer or other things pre-included. You can decide if you want to add those. Great, you can add them. If you don't have to. So the price is going to be very aggressive. It's going to be one of our cheapest kits for what you get. And if you shop around on your total build, you'll find that by the time you pick and pack all your components, it's going to be very difficult to sort of get a complete package as the one we're going to be offering with this 3.5 basic. So look for it on our website, probably by December or like late December. We're going to try to get it ready before Christmas, but in all honesty, if you do order, it's probably going to arrive a little later. But I think this is going to fulfill a need, and it's in response to a lot of our customers. We had a lot of people saying, hey, can you sell us the wire? I know I already have my crimping tool. I just need some wire, and I can't find it. And this is going to sort of simplify the whole overall process. You really can sort of pick and choose whatever you need. Also, because of this, the V3.0 is not going to be discontinued. So the custom kit builder for 3.0 is going to be taken down, and it is going to be replaced by this version 3.5 basic. All right. Well, thank you very much.